Welcome to my channel.
Hello everyone! In this English episode, we will be focusing on English conversation. Listening to English conversation is an essential part of improving your English language skills. It can help you improve your listening, speaking, and comprehension skills.
Hey Ronica, let's talk about food. What's your favorite food?
I love Asian food, especially since it's not easily found in England. I enjoy spicy, flavorful, and savory dishes that are typical of Asian cuisine. Cuisine refers to a style or method of cooking, especially as characteristic of a particular country, region, or establishment. Asian cuisine refers to the culinary traditions, cooking styles, and types of dishes that are commonly associated with Asian countries such as China, Japan, Korea, Thailand, India, and others.
Do you cook a lot at home?
Not as much as I would love to cook more, because I actually enjoy the process of cooking, but I just cook out of convenience and because every day I have gotta, make sure I get my work done and then cook for my kids, which takes a lot of times. Sometimes we get taken away, but they like it.
Could you tell me what are some of the popular takeaway meals in your local area?
Fish and chips are undoubtedly a popular choice for takeaway meals among everyone. However, personally, I would prefer Thai and Vietnamese cuisine because it's my favorite. These cuisines are easily available in my local area, which makes it convenient for me to order them.
How often do you eat fast food?
I try to maintain a healthy diet, but when I'm traveling, I sometimes eat fast food, even though I try to eat healthy. I really like the filet-o fish from McDonald's, but I only eat it once every few months.
What's your favorite season of the year?
Well, I love the time when the sun starts to come out, so I enjoy the sun's warmth. It gives us vitamin D, lifts our mood, and makes the days more pleasant than the winter.
So, what do you do when it gets too hot in the summer?
Well, when it gets too hot in the summer, I try to stay indoors as much as possible during the hottest parts of the day. I ensure that my home is well ventilated, and I use air conditioning to keep the temperature at a comfortable level. I also tend to wear light and breathable clothing to stay cool. Drinking plenty of fluids like water and juice helps to keep me hydrated and refreshed. I also try to avoid going out during the hottest part of the day and instead opt for early morning or late evening walks. If I have to go out, I make sure to apply sunscreen and wear a hat to protect my skin from the sun's harmful rays. When I'm feeling too hot, I like to indulge in some fresh fruits and smoothies to help cool me down. Overall, I try to take the necessary precautions to stay safe and healthy during the hot summer months while still enjoying the season.
At what time of year do you normally go on holiday?
As much as I try to plan my trips outside of the school holiday seasons, it can be a bit challenging sometimes due to my kids' schedules. We tend to plan our trips around the school breaks.
The term tend indicates a common or habitual practice. While usually could also be employed, tend is preferred for emphasizing habitual behavior. Examples: we tend to eat at home. Children tend to be like their parents.
Which can be a bit crowded and expensive, but it's the most convenient for us. However, my favorite time to travel is during Christmas. I love to escape the chilly weather and enjoy some warmth in a tropical destination. The period before or after Christmas is the perfect time for me to travel, as the holiday frenzy starts to die down and the prices tend to be slightly cheaper. It's a great way to unwind and spend some quality time with my loved ones, away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. I try to plan my trips well in advance to avoid any last-minute stress and ensure that everything runs smoothly. Overall, Traveling during the holiday season has become a tradition for my family, and we look forward to it every year.
Have you ever been on holiday somewhere very cold?
I haven't been on holiday to a very cold destination yet, but it's definitely something that I'm interested in doing. I've always been fascinated by the beauty of snow-capped mountains and the magic of winter landscapes. I think it would be an unforgettable experience to explore a winter wonderland and try out some winter sports like skiing or snowboarding.
Now let's talk about clothes. Where do you buy most of your clothes?
That's a great question. I usually buy my clothes from a mix of different places. Sometimes I'll shop at department stores like Macy's or Nordstrom, and other times I'll check out smaller boutiques or online shops. I also love thrifting and finding unique pieces at second-hand stores. It really just depends on what I'm looking for and my budget at the time.
How often do you buy clothes?
I buy it more often than I should. I love to shop for clothes online. It makes me happy to express myself through my clothing choices, which is why I like to have different clothes for different occasions. However, I try to be careful with my spending and not buy things I don't really need. I enjoy fashion, but I also want to be responsible with my money.
Have you always had the same taste in clothes?
I have had different fashion tastes throughout my life. Before becoming a mom, I saw myself as a different person, and my style reflected that. After becoming a mom, work became a way for me to express myself, and my fashion choices changed accordingly. I like to experiment with different styles and express myself through my clothing choices. However, I always try to be mindful of my spending and not buy things I don't really need.
Well, let's talk about social media. Which social media sites do you use?
I usually use Instagram and LinkedIn. Instagram is a great app for sharing photos and videos with my friends and family. I love how easy it is to use and the different filters and editing tools that it offers. I also enjoy following other users and discovering new content. On the other hand, I use LinkedIn for professional purposes. It's a great platform for networking and connecting with other professionals in my field. I can also search for job opportunities and showcase my skills and experience to potential employers. It's a useful tool for building my career and staying up to date with industry news and trends.
Cool. How much time do you spend on social media?
I feel like I'm spending too much time on social media, but it's hard to resist. When I visit social media, not only do I post something, but I also engage with people to build relationships. So I end up spending a couple of hours a day on it. It can be a bit overwhelming, but I enjoy connecting with others through social media.
Is there anything you dislike about social media?
I think there are a few things that I dislike about social media. One of them is how easy it is to get caught up in comparing yourself to others. Sometimes it feels like everyone else is living their best life, and it's easy to start feeling like you're not measuring up. I also don't like how much time I can spend on social media without even realizing it. But despite these drawbacks, I still find social media to be a valuable tool for staying connected with friends and family, and for discovering new ideas and perspectives.
If you found the video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Hello, my friends. On today's episode, Lucas and I will be discussing morning habits. Listening to natural conversations can help you enhance your English skills in various ways, such as improving your listening abilities, learning new words, phrasal verbs, idioms, and much more. However, before we begin, I would like to humbly request that you give this video a like if you enjoy it.
Your feedback will inspire me to create new episodes like this.
Hey Lucas, good morning. How did you sleep?
Hey Daisy, good morning. I slept pretty well, thanks for asking. How about you?
Wait. My friends, did you notice the word slept? Slept is the past tense and past participle of sleep.
I had a great night's sleep, thank you. So, I wanted to ask you, have you developed any new morning habits recently? I've been trying to incorporate some healthy habits into my morning routine.
Incorporate means to include or add something into something else. In this context, it means adding healthy habits to the morning routine.
Actually, I have been trying to do the same thing. I've been trying to start my day with some light exercise like a quick yoga routine or a walk around the block.
That's a great idea. I've been trying to drink a glass of warm lemon water first thing in the morning. I've heard it helps with digestion and boosts your metabolism.
Oh, I've heard about that too. I might have to give it a try. Another habit I've been trying to develop is limiting my phone use in the morning. I find that if I start scrolling through social media or checking my email right away, it sets a negative tone for the rest of my day.
That's a really good point. I've been trying to avoid my phone in the morning too. But it's definitely a challenge. I've also been trying to incorporate gratitude into my morning routine by taking a few minutes to reflect on what I'm thankful for.
That's a great idea. I think it's really important to start the day with a positive mindset. Another habit I've been trying to develop is a consistent sleep schedule. I find that when I go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, I feel more energized and focused throughout the day.
I totally agree. I've been trying to prioritize my sleep as well. Another habit I've been trying to develop is taking a few minutes in the morning to plan out my day. I find that when I have a clear idea of what I need to accomplish, I feel more productive and less stressed.
That's a great idea. I've been trying to do the same thing, but I've been struggling to stick with it. Do you have any tips for staying consistent with morning habits?
Well, one thing that's helped me is making my morning routine enjoyable. For example, I love listening to music while I get ready in the morning, so I make sure to incorporate that into my routine.
That's a really good point. I think it's important to find ways to make your morning routine enjoyable so that it doesn't feel like a chore. Another thing that's helped me is finding an accountability partner. My roommate and I have been trying to develop healthy morning habits together, and it's been really helpful to have someone to check in with and keep each other motivated.
That's a great idea. I think having a support system can make a big difference when it comes to developing healthy habits. And speaking of healthy habits, have you been trying to incorporate any new habits into your daily routine outside of the morning?
Actually, yes. I've been trying to drink more water throughout the day. I've heard it has a ton of health benefits, like improving digestion and boosting your immune system.
That's awesome. I've been trying to do the same thing. I also recently started practicing mindfulness meditation for a few minutes each day, and I've noticed that it's been really helpful for reducing stress and improving my overall well-being.
That's really cool. I've been interested in trying meditation, but I'm not sure where to start. Do you have any tips?
Sure, I'd be happy to help. I actually use a meditation app that guides you through different mindfulness exercises. I find it really helpful because it takes the guesswork out of meditation and helps me stay focused.
That sounds like a great resource. I'll have to check it out. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. I think it's really important to prioritize our physical and mental health, and incorporating healthy habits into our daily routines is a great way to do that.
Absolutely. And it's also important to remember that developing healthy habits takes time and consistency. But if we stick with it, we can make positive changes in our lives that will have a lasting impact.
Hey there, my name is Jessica, and I'm a homemaker. I love taking care of my home and family every day. My day usually starts quite early in the morning, as I'm an early riser. As soon as I wake up, I get to work preparing breakfast for my family. I'm a big fan of cooking, and one of our favorite breakfast dishes is pancakes and scrambled eggs. It's always a pleasure to see my family enjoy their meal. Once breakfast is over, I help my children get ready for school by assisting them in getting dressed and making sure they have everything they need for their day ahead. With the kids off to school, I take some time to tidy up the house by cleaning and organizing. Keeping our home clean and comfortable is very important to me. In the late morning, I head to the grocery store to pick up fresh fruits, vegetables, and other essentials for the week. I take pride in planning meals and making sure we have everything we need. Once back home, I unpack the groceries and start preparing lunch. I aim to make something healthy and well-balanced for my family. While the food is cooking, I spend some time watering my plants and tending to my small garden. Watching the plants grow is both satisfying and fulfilling. After lunch, I help my kids with their homework and enjoy the opportunity to bond and help them understand their lessons better. We often have fun studying together. Once they finish their homework, we spend some time playing games or doing creative activities. In the late afternoon, I start planning dinner and enjoy trying new recipes and experimenting in the kitchen. Cooking is like an art form for me, and I love combining different ingredients and creating dishes that my family can enjoy together. The evening is family time, and we like to sit together, share stories about our day, and enjoy dinner. Sometimes we watch a movie or read books before bedtime. I make sure my children are ready for bed, and once they're asleep, I take a moment to relax and reflect on the day. Being a homemaker can be a lot of work, but it's all worth it when I see my family happy and well cared for.
If you found the video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Hello, my dear friends. In this podcast, we will be discussing the significant life changes that have recently happened in our lives. Have you ever experienced a significant life change? If so, how did it impact your life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Before we start our conversation, let's take a moment to discuss the importance of the English language.
Hey Anna, what are the benefits of learning English?
Well, there are many advantages to learning English. For instance, you can open up a lot of opportunities for yourself. Personally, I have been able to work with companies from all over the world and earn money in dollars.
That's amazing.
Yes, if you want to progress in your career, make money, or be able to communicate with people from different countries without any hesitation. Learning English is very important.
But we don't really have a good environment to practice English here.
Unfortunately, the English taught in our schools is very basic. It only helps you to pass the exams. I have many friends who got the highest marks in English subjects, but when it comes to speaking, they are blank. They can't even speak a few lines. So, this is a big problem that I have noticed.
Hey, I'm curious. What are some cool ways to learn English?
The first step to learning English is to get used to hearing it. To do this, make it a habit to listen to English news and podcasts and watch English content instead of watching it in your local language. The more you listen to English and repeat it, the better. A good exercise is called shadowing. This means that whenever someone is speaking, you try to mimic or copy them. This gives you practical training in learning English and is a great way to improve your skills.
What are the next tips?
We'll be sharing more tips in the upcoming videos. By the way, it's time for our podcast to start.
Hey Anna, what's been keeping you busy? Anything exciting happening? I feel like things have been changing a lot lately. Have you had any big life changes recently? So, tell me something new. Have you made any big decisions recently?
Well, I just bought my first house and recently moved in.
So, where did you live before purchasing this house? Must be exciting to finally have your own place after renting.
You're right, it is exciting. I used to rent a small house, but I always dreamed of owning one. Now I finally have the space to make it my own.
Oh, I see. So, renting was an option for you. Can you tell me more about the rental process? I heard some people need to sell their existing house before buying a new one.
Yeah, it can vary by country, but in the US most people rent before buying. You typically start by searching online for different rental properties. Then, once you find a place you like, you'll fill out a rental application. Some smaller landlords might not require one, but that could be a bit of a risk.
Exactly. In my case, I actually found my current house while I was still renting my apartment. The whole process took a while, but it was worth it.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things to consider when buying a house is the upfront cost.
Upfront cost meaning an amount of money paid before a particular piece of work or a particular service is done or received.
There's a down payment involved, which can be a hurdle for many people. We definitely struggled to save enough for a down payment for a long time. Hurdle means a problem or difficulty that must be overcome.
What does it mean, down payment?
When it comes to buying a house, one of the biggest expenses is the down payment, which is typically around 20% of the total price. In the United States, houses can range in price from $150,000 all the way up to millions of dollars. However, there are also additional expenses that come with buying a house, which can add up quickly. Before making the decision to purchase a house, it's important to have a thorough understanding of all the costs involved and to make sure you're financially prepared for such a big investment.
I've heard that the process of buying a house can be quite lengthy, and in the United States, it has become even more challenging in recent years. The prices of houses, particularly in areas where younger people want to live, have increased significantly compared to when our parents were young. As a result, my partner and I bought our first house much later in life than our parents did. It's definitely important to be aware of these factors when considering buying a house and to be prepared for the additional time and financial investment that may be required.
Yeah, buying a house in the United States has become increasingly challenging for younger people in recent years due to significant changes in the real estate market.
The real estate market is about buying, selling, or renting land and buildings. A realtor is a licensed professional who helps people buy, sell.
When I was considering purchasing a house, I quickly realized that most of the time, you need to have a realtor to help you navigate the process. In fact, it's estimated that 98% of the time, a realtor is necessary when buying a house in the US. This is just one of many factors to consider when thinking about purchasing a house. And it's important to be aware of all the requirements and costs involved before making a decision.
Tell me about your experience working with a realtor. What were some of the most helpful things they did?
The process of buying a house can be complex, which is why many people choose to work with a realtor. A realtor can guide you through the entire process and handle much of the legwork involved, which can save you a lot of time and stress. When I first started thinking about buying a house, I thought I could handle it on my own without a realtor. But I quickly realized that the expertise and guidance of a professional were invaluable. So, if you're considering buying a house, it's definitely worth considering working with a realtor to make the process as smooth and stress-free as possible.
Did the realtor used to call you all the time?
Yes, the realtor called us pretty much every day, sometimes up to 10 phone calls in a day. They were constantly working on setting up meetings, coordinating inspections, and discussing the timing of the contract. There are many little details to work through during the process of buying a house, and the realtor is there to help manage all of them. Of course, they do get a big cut of the final sale price, but in our experience, it was definitely worth it to have their expertise and guidance throughout the process.
Oh, okay. I was curious. How much did they take?
Realtors typically get paid a commission based on the price of the house that you buy. In our situation, the seller covered the realtor's commission, which was 6%. This meant we, as the buyers, didn't have any out-of-pocket expenses for the realtor's services. This can be a significant advantage for buyers, allowing them to benefit from a realtor's knowledge and guidance without a direct financial cost.
Hey Anna, when you decided to pack up your stuff, what was the first thing you had to do?
Hey Lucas, good question. The first thing I had to do was to get some boxes. I purchased some boxes and also asked for extra boxes from grocery stores. And then, a few weeks before the movers came, I started breaking down my house and packing everything up. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it in the end.
So, Anna, when you were moving, did you pack up all your stuff at once? Or did you do it gradually?
Hey Lucas, I did it gradually. I got some free boxes from a grocery store and started packing up stuff that I didn't need for day-to-day life about a week before the actual move. It helped to make the process less overwhelming and more organized.
I see. But what about moving all the heavy furniture and items? Did you do that by yourself, or did you hire movers?
Oh, that's a good question. While it's possible to move everything by yourself, I didn't want to deal with that. So, I decided to hire some movers instead. They helped to carry all of our heavy furniture, like couches, bookshelves, and kitchen tables. It made the move a lot easier and less stressful for me.
Wow, that sounds like quite a moving experience.
Yes, it was definitely an adventure. The movers had to walk a really long way because I lived in a downtown area where there wasn't much parking. And to top it off, they brought too big of a truck, so they had to park really far away and carry all our stuff.
That must have been really tough on them.
Yes, it definitely wasn't pleasant for them. They said it was the furthest they've ever had to walk for a moving experience. And because I lived on the second floor, they had to go down the second floor stairs, then down the apartment stairs, and finally halfway down the street just to put our couch in the moving truck. It was kind of a disaster.
I can imagine. Moving is never easy, especially when there are so many challenges like that.
Absolutely. But I'm glad I didn't have to do all that heavy lifting myself, especially since I was newly pregnant at the time. I think hiring movers was definitely worth the price for the peace of mind it provided.
If you found the video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.